East Riddlesden Hall in West Yorkshire, England, is considered one of Britain's most haunted houses. While at the hall, YouTuber Roman Joe took a video of the old barn to send to her partner. When she watched it back, she noticed something strange. Let's take a look. Did you see it? Watch the window to the left of the carriage. Something seems to block the light for a moment. The YouTuber believes it's a spirit passing by the window. If it's true that no one was on site, to me the only thing that could explain this is if that window had a shutter that just so happened to move with the wind at the same moment that the camera pans past. Otherwise, this is for sure the Grey Lady, and I think they should get out of there immediately. This place is 100% haunted. YouTuber Tomcat0031 captured a shadow figure streaking past the door on a floor that was empty at the time. You need no instruction on where to look. This one is hard to miss.
Right, this is filming now. Right, both me and Joe seen a shadow go across this room here. Bub! Somebody's in there. Mate, I tell you what, you're doing a good job.
The way it moves doesn't seem natural, and you don't hear footsteps. It's almost like it's gliding past.
Yeah. Bub! Somebody's in there. Mate, I tell you what, you're doing a good job.
Notice that you see the darkness move across the crack to the left of the door, and then you see a larger black darkness to the right of the doorway. The former looks more solid to me, which suggests that it's a solid figure, and the latter looks like a shadow being cast by that figure. Lastly, in the crack to the left, you see a figure move again in the other direction. This makes me think that whatever is there made a small circle around the room, and the way the light falls casts a shadow on the far right-hand wall for a moment. But whether whatever is there is paranormal or not is the real question. What's more terrifying than your child staring at something invisible in the middle of the night when you hear someone talking to her? Posted to the Ghosts subreddit, El Soto14 explains, everyone was asleep in the house, but something told me to check my daughter's monitor. She was sleeping, then sat up and stared at the door. The Redditor is wondering what the strange noise might be at the 10-second mark of the recording. There seems to be a consensus in the comments that the voice says the word listen. Others say it just sounds like a frog croaking to them. The Redditor notes that her daughter doesn't remember anything from the incident, whatever the voice is saying. If it really is a voice, the girl sitting up, seemingly aware of the presence, in and of itself is terrifying. These ghost investigators have some paranormal evidence from a haunted house on video that I'm trying to decide is real or fake. They claim these lights are not coming from traffic, which I believe, but it looks awfully similar to the high-powered flashlights they were using earlier in the day. Does the beam look the same to you? Next, they claim to have picked up this sharp whisper, but I think it might be a camera strap sliding over the mic. Do you hear it? If so, what do you think? Two YouTube ghost investigating groups team up for this video, but they find something even worse instead.
Because you know for a fact that's going to catch everything down there.
It already looked bad when they first found it, but the flames are twice as wide and twice as tall by the time the authorities arrive on scene. They have to be diligent as they lift the rubble up to check for signs of flames in the middle. If they miss a single burning patch, this whole situation could happen again tonight. When the first responders leave, the team checks out what it was. Someone who was putting this entire forest at risk so they could burn trash. When they thought burning it was safer than dumping it is beyond me. They were either extremely foolish, didn't care, or were trying to do it on purpose. Perhaps all three. Two friends are fishing when they hear somebody else firing for hunt not too far away. The two don't think much of it and let the man continue his hobby while they continue theirs. They keep casting into the water and everything is going fine for about a minute, and then the two sports collide.
Holy! Stop! Hey! Hey! It hit my boat!
Look again and you can tell that he doesn't pick his foot up for dramatic effect. It was really that close. When you slow down the video to frame by frame, you can briefly see the round as it bounces off the deck right by his foot. If they had been drifting downriver, even just a little faster, it would have been a direct hit and a trip to the hospital for certain. This woman found her toy doll in a disturbing state, so she contacted YouTuber Luan Mendez to help her.
Simone? Tá ali já, mano. Nossa, mano, tudo bom? Bom, prazer, Luan. Pode entrar?
Pode entrar.
Oi? Tem alguém aí?
Tem meu marido e minha filha que tá dormindo.
Seu marido é o... Leandro.
Shared by YouTube channel blah blah, this video is trending in the Arabic-speaking YouTube community.
Ah, tá estranho, mano.
E olha isso aqui.
Tá costurado, parece. Tudo
A mão tá costurada atrás.
Nossa.
E tá com uma fralda de criança, com uma fralda de criança.
É.
Você comprou desse jeito já? Como que é?
Não, a gente tava passando.
After these guys come to take a look, they find the cellar. They hear something banging on the lid.
É você, boneca?
A piga, mano.
Falando pra você, cara. Você viu? Eu vou entrar.
É a boneca, Luan.
So they climb in to investigate.
Cuidado.
Dá a câmera pra mim aqui, Júlio.
Ai, pô.
Nossa, que tá boa. Irmão, a boneca tá aqui.
The doll of horror is inside, but after stepping away from the horror doll for a minute, this happens.
A boneca tá do mesmo jeito.
Ai, ai! Cadê a boneca? Cadê a boneca, Pia?
O que foi?
Cadê a boneca? Cadê a boneca? Tava aqui agora.
Ué, ela tava ali, irmão, ó. Ué.
It disappears. Where did the doll go? Was it possessed by something? Or did some slick soul do this to her? I have a theory. I think the doll was being used as a voodoo doll. That still doesn't explain where it disappeared to. But have no fear. The horror doll always returns.
Luan.
Júlio, ela é! Ai! Ai! Ela! Ai, 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 ai! Ai! Bati, eu caí! Nossa, mano!
Although you and I were probably not hoping for an encore for this one, a YouTuber named Cooper Mackey says he has been hearing weird laughing voices around his house lately and his sister has been acting really bizarre. So he grabs the camera and starts recording. It isn't long until his sister stops talking and slips into another one of her strange trances.
You can stop, okay? Okay?
She briefly snaps out of it for a couple of minutes and then goes back under.
God. Oh my god. Shay, please.
This time she wakes up and remembers nothing. The way I see it, this has to be one of three possibilities. Either all of this is just acting, a real medical disorder, or an actual possession. Based on what I've seen, it's probably only a matter of time before something like this happens again. A YouTuber named Seg goes into the woods and finds an old rotten house. He and his friends feel something watching them nearby and they both run away. As they are checking out the raw video a few minutes later to see what it was, this strange orange circle pays them a visit and hangs around the corner of the shot.
Mate, did he get it? would you launch your footage back?
To be perfectly honest, this looks like it is almost definitely the cameraman's thumb, but Seix says the orange light is way too bright to be anything but the supernatural. He says that this is the only source of light, and therefore something behind the light should not be brighter than everything else in the shot. I'm not sure if I buy this theory, so I wanted to run it by you. Is this a ghostly presence or a ghost investigator's thumb? A YouTuber named QBangGuy receives a deep web mystery box with a pile of old electronics inside. He notices an outdated cassette player with headphones, so he puts them on and hears a woman saying the same thing over and over again in a different language. Listen to this part and let me know if you can translate. Something about the woman's tone sounds menacing to me, almost as if she is making a twisted prediction. If you speak the language, please let me know if I am right. Two adventurous friends are ready to explore an old sewer tunnel, but they don't make it very far before a strange noise makes them turn right around and head back to the light.
Did you hear that?
Right.
They escape the tunnel safely, and nothing follows them outside. The obvious answer is that this was some kind of laughing sound effect that they edited in later, but to me it does sound like it was coming from a distance, as if it really was somewhere deeper in the sewer. Many legends haunt the legendary Hinsdale House in New York. YouTube team Haunt Me have come to investigate their truth. As the group is sitting in the house, they see something.
Right? Yeah.
Outside the window or inside?
Inside.
Inside, like on the couch.
On the couch.
Another of the team hears something.
Something out there.
Yeah. Out there?
Yeah, and our tech crew heard it too because I watched them look.
Come on, you can come in.
Again, one of the ladies senses something on the couch.
Just got up off the couch.
Me, Carol, and Kate.
And they see another figure.
You can hear somebody out there.
Yeah, I just saw somebody. I don't know if anybody else is paying attention, but they just walked behind the monitor.
Behind the monitor.
Yeah.
Into the baby carriage room?
No, the other way, from the baby carriage room.
To the back, towards the bathroom.
Yeah.
They then hear footsteps upstairs.
Very cool.
Is somebody looking at it right now?
Then the house tells them what it needs.
Energy.
So clear! It's so clear!
If I were them, I'd take my energy out of this soul-sucking house as fast as I could. While investigating an old morgue and Victorian warehouse in the UK, YouTube team CVS Paranormal immediately sees some activity. It begins with the cat ball.
Touch it again. Can you touch the ball? We're having quite a lot of luck already. Stop. Can you stop? Stand back. Can you touch it again?
In another room, they hear a creaking noise.
Ooh. That was coming from up here. A creaking noise up there. That was coming from up here.
Shortly after, a lady's whisper is heard.
Did nobody else just hear that? No, what? I heard a voice.
And then footsteps.
There's somebody walking up there.
In another instance, they hear a strange strangled noise.
I just heard something.
And later, a thump is heard.
I can definitely hear something. I just heard a thump. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
There seems to be low, distant voices regularly throughout the visit.
And there's voices. There's definite voices.
Here they are again.
I can hear talking. It's like definitely more than one person.
And then a loud tap is heard.
Like there's something coming in. That was a tap. No, that was more than.
When they ask the spirit to come closer, they hear distinct footsteps.
Can you come in now? I can hear it. Can you come closer? Can you hear it?
who is coming toward him. At this rate, I think it can be any number of ghost spirits that haunt this former morgue. Has anything creepy ever turned up on one of your home videos? YouTuber Tink spotted something that stood her hair on end while watching hers back. See if you can spot it. Did you see it? Something scurries past beyond her shoulder to the left. Watch closely. Let's see it again, more slowly this time. Tinks says she was home alone at the time. I feel like it moves too quickly to be anything of this dimension. Is it something from another world? Let me know what you think in the comments. When a shadow passes through your security footage, you know you're not alone. Posted by Lily Monique to the Chills Narrator subreddit. Lily shares that her uncle David and her father work for mall security. She writes, "This is what my dad and uncle caught on mall security cameras where they work in the middle of the night in the parking lot. The video shows David standing in the middle of the empty lot. He remains there in the light, and no one at all is around. But then a shadow passes close to the camera, completely blocking him from view for a moment. It almost looks as if a figure glided directly in front of the security camera. If I were David, I'd be looking over my shoulder in that parking garage." Is this a party or on the roof? While in this first video, it looks like something just floating there. In the second video though, it's on the move.
Guys, anjing, itu apa anjing? Ibu, anjing, goblok ibu.
That's definitely a ghost in my opinion, and it's 500% creepy. Let's just hope this spirit was just looking to party. TF141 Ghost goes exploring an abandoned house, one he found on a secret blog about haunted locations in his hometown. He walks slowly across a rotting floor that can barely support his weight, and apparently the floor isn't the only thing left rotting in this house.
As you can see, I mean, it's definitely abandoned. It's been abandoned for, I would say, quite some time now. Give you the grand tour of the kitchen. The tour of the abandoned house. It's kind of creepy in here, I'm gonna be honest. Check out this little door. I was really hoping I'd find something. I have no idea what the that is, so I'm not gonna touch that.
This mysterious object has been delicately wrapped in some kind of deli paper and left hanging. I have no idea what this is, but I'm afraid that it was once attached to someone.
I totally forgot there's an upstairs. Oh, these are rickety stairs. It's about 20 degrees. It's kind of weird. Oh, and what's over here? There is a Bible. there's a Bible next to about 100 toys.
The way the book is facing the camera is creepy, like it was left there on purpose, perhaps to guard against some evil in this room. Maybe an exorcism on someone possessed by a demon took place here. With that in mind, what he does next is very questionable indeed.
I'm gonna grab this Bible and take it with me, because I might need it on the way out. Alright, time to go. I'm just gonna leave this here. That's really...
Hopefully, removing the book didn't free something from that attic space. Besides that, I wouldn't want to touch anything that was possibly used during an exorcism anyway. And on top of that, discarding the book without a care seems like really bad luck to begin with. Oh, and one more thing. More bad news, of course. I think there may have been more clues in this hole at the top of the stairs, but what was hiding in there could not have been good. I think I might even see a face. A YouTuber named Rifat claims that going to this haunted place in Palestine proved to be a psychological undoing. Let's see what was so scary in this paranormal exploration gone wrong. He seems to have trouble keeping his balance and stumbles backwards twice for no reason.
يا شباب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا شباب قلت أجرب الله يقطع شر يوم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
At this point, I think he realizes there's no way he should be falling 3 times in 5 minutes and thinks a ghost could be near, as he is trying to decide if this is really happening or just his imagination. Some of the best paranormal EVP evidence ever recorded is caught on camera.
هذه قصة وأنا والله العظيم خايف يعني ممنوع في الليل عن جد ممنوع يعني نطلع هيك كمان هيك إيش هاد؟
Loud and scary screaming noises are coming from the woods. The screams of a human, most certainly not an animal.
يعني من وين أطلع؟
He doesn't investigate the noise because this could be a spirit setting up a trap that he is too smart to fall for. I'm glad he didn't go any further. If he had gone any deeper into the forest to see what it was, then this scary video might not ever have been uploaded. I have a feeling that he narrowly avoided getting ambushed by some group of bandits or even something paranormal. With a name like Forest of the Black Cross, this place is bound to experience some shady supernatural happenings. Captured and published to YouTube in July of 2021, the crew are filming at night in the dark and haunted forest, and what they encountered does appear to be supernatural. Something is disturbing the forest, and as they zero in on it, they spot the dreaded figure amongst the thick brush.
Cadê, gente? Ele tá descendo. Ele ali, ali. Olha isso, cara.
The scary footage captures the face of a wild beast with glowing orange eyes, sharp features, and a gray tone. It looks unlike any other forest creature, and unlike any human figure at that. The crew rightly freaks out, and as a deep growl rumbles through the forest, they flee as fast as their legs will carry them. As they race away, howling is heard into the night.
Passa. Onde que entrada, porra?
Were they really faster than this werewolf, or did the wolf simply find other more alluring prey? An Xbox Kinect is probably the last thing that you would ever expect to use to capture a ghost, but that's what Keith Weldon apparently did on his channel called Weldon Paranormal. This ghost hunter received a call to investigate paranormal activity at an antique store in Rocklin, California, so he packed up his equipment and headed over. The owner of this shop believed that a spirit was attached to an antique piece of furniture. To find the ghost, they used a Kinect camera that's hooked up to a laptop using special ghost hunting software. The software uses the Kinect's motion sensing capabilities to detect and map out any invisible forms in the room. Nothing is happening at first, so after a while, they decide to play old music that's from the same time period as the haunted furniture. Sure enough, they capture a ghost apparently dancing behind them.
And then it has that figure over there and it looks like it's dancing again.
Do you like the music?
Like literally like got rhythm and like...
Oh yeah.
When they turn the music off, they try to interact with the ghost some more.
She's shying away. Yeah. Oh my god.
It's holding your hand.
If this footage is real, then it could be the first time a true human-to-ghost interaction has ever been recorded. I don't understand the technology behind this equipment, so I can't say if it's real or fake, but if you're a ghost hunting expert and can verify this footage, then please let me know. A YouTuber named Tubaruba claims to have obtained this video from a friend who goes to the Folk High School in Arkansas. It's late at night when a heavy cart full of cleaning equipment starts doing something all by itself that should not be possible. According to the uploader, the cart continues down the hall past 3 classrooms before coming to a stop and never moving again. The description of this video says the cart is too heavy to be pulled across the floor with a string, but I think it's entirely possible given the highly polished appearance of the floor. There's a good possibility that this video might be staged, but given the lack of witnesses or more video evidence than this one angle, there's just no way to know for sure. The Adventures of Hamad Salhai has the keys to an apartment that is slowly being taken over by a powerful jinn. Once inside, he begins a ceremony with candles. I don't know if this is a summoning or a cleansing ritual, but I do know that what happens as a result is beyond creepy. First of all, the flame from the candle remains completely horizontal and still. Then his flashlight flickers with paranormal energy and the ceremony kicks into full swing.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء.
A door closes by itself, and when he opens the door back up, the ghost avoids a confrontation again.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله.
He relights the candle and goes inside the room to see what the ghost is trying to hide. These pictures adorn the walls, perhaps victims of the person whose ghost now haunts this apartment building, or maybe just family members. He is pondering something out loud that I bet would give us more information about this room, so please translate if you can. A shadow figure in the corner makes him drop his only source of light, and now he is left in the darkness in the same room as the terrifying phantom figure. He runs out of the room fast and grabs a flashlight, no longer worried about using the ceremonial candles at the moment, but it won't let him leave, so he picks up the candles once more.
من شر ما خلق بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله.
This is what finally freaks him out. I think a ghost touches his shoulder, but help me translate to better understand.
استنوا شوي اطفي الشمع اقول لكم والله ما نطفيه. السلام عليكم.
A Reddit user named jmilka7 posted this weird doorbell camera video that she'll never forget anytime soon. I want to say that this is a bug, except it's glowing non-stop and appears to come together and then separate at 1 minute and 22 seconds. According to the accompanying post, this was the endpoint of some long beam of light that scanned his driveway all the way to his door and then back, over and over again, for about an hour between 9:40 and 10:40 at night. From the way she describes it, I wonder if someone had their house in their infrared sights and was waiting to take their lives. A YouTuber named Fanatic is fishing in Louisville, Texas, when he snags something so rotten it makes him gag. Inside of the bag is a scary discovery that forces Fanatic to call the police.
And I pulled the bag up and it had some type of bones in it. I don't know if they're animal bones or human bones or if they're...
The entire 911 conversation is recorded, and a police officer shows up to investigate, so there is absolutely no doubt that this video is legit. They take the bags of bones away for evidence, and as far as I know, the lab results have never been made public. I would really like it if someone who speaks Spanish could tell me what this reporter is saying. He seems to be pointing at something moments before he has a scary encounter caught on live TV news.
Como bien lo dicen, nos encontramos específicamente en Valle Dorado, en el municipio de Tlalnepantla, Estado de México. Y es que mira, la lluvia fue tan fuerte en este punto de la ciudad que para que tú tengas una idea, mira este poste de luz. ¡Ay!
At 28 seconds, it looks like he thinks he's stepping into a shallow end, but apparently there isn't one to be found. Now he has dirty water in his eyes and needs help to get out, but to his credit, he holds onto the microphone the entire time. Talk about true job dedication. I'm glad they were able to pull him out because he might have had a hard time climbing up the muddy slope himself. I really hope he didn't swallow any of that water, because who knows what kind of bacteria is in it. YouTuber Memoria Sobrenatural INC believes they were guided to this location by something paranormal, and maybe that's true, but it doesn't seem to want to let him in.
Opa! Cara, que é isso, mano? Cara, que é isso?
At first, it seems like something might just be pushed up against the door blocking it, but then you see movement. Watch the crack in the doorway.
Olha isso, cara. Dá uma olhada.
Whatever's inside doesn't seem human.
Cara, você é louco? Eu juro que eu achei que eu tinha visto o demônio aqui agora, na hora que eu fui abrir a porta. Cara, meu coração foi a mil aqui, ó. Bom, pessoal, eu acho que...
Phew, it's just a bull. Or is it? I think this horned beast is more demon than it appears. A YouTuber named Alone in the Dark takes a 2-hour tour of a haunted hospital that has been out of commission for a long time. He repeatedly hears noises and gets signs that he is not alone, like here for example, when you can see a light appear out of nowhere in response to his voice.
Seems I hear ringing.
At one point on an upper floor, he finds a long streak of dried red liquid running down the wall from a nearby ceiling vent. It almost looks like someone was grabbed from above by something terribly strong and pulled up into the ventilation duct, where they met a horrible fate.
Looks like blood.
Something else strange about this video is how all of the cabinet doors that he passes by seem to be flung open. Cabinets opening by themselves is a classic sign of a haunting, so take that for what you will. When he is finally ready to leave, the paranormal events really pick up in ways you'll never guess.
There's a lot more going on in this thing.
First, he hears an ambulance pull up to the defunct hospital, and then he sees shimmering lights on the ground. It could just be broken glass reflecting into the beam of his flashlight, but then again, it could be a paranormal energy signature. Either way, the timing of the ambulance siren is too much of a coincidence for me to believe this was anything normal. A YouTuber named Phoebe Mayhew made a scary face swap video from 2016 that's still an unsolved mystery to this day, and I'm hoping this is the year we can find an answer. So Phoebe makes a joke about having no friends to face swap with, when this invisible presence takes her up on her generous offer to change faces.
Hello, anyone want it?
The eerie apparition is apparently above her, and she switches places with something peering in from the highest point of the door. So the only thing in the corner that possibly looks like a face would be the overhead lighting. But when Phoebe tries to recreate the situation, nothing happens.
But it's definitely not the light it was doing it to. Because the light's over there and it's not doing it now.
Like I said, I don't see anything else in that doorway that could have set off the face swap. Do you? It makes me wonder if something tall and creepy was watching her and then vanished. Franco TV is one of the few ghost hunters I've come across who isn't afraid to investigate solo. In fact, he prefers it. Charging into the middle of the action and staying put is his style. Rarely does he run. On September 7th, 2018, Franco TV goes to an abandoned house that's way out in the Florida forest. I can't tell you the exact location, but I can tell you the name, the Edison House. What's inside leaves him a sweat-soaked mess. The address is so secret that he had to track down some of the previous owners to find it, and since no one can stand living here for more than a few months, there were plenty of previous owners to choose from. It was accidentally built over a gravesite according to them, and that's all they will say because it's so cursed that just talking about it could possibly bring about years of misfortune. None of this concerns Franco enough to keep him from going inside. Through the condemned door is a trashed interior that fills the investigator with the type of dread that burns stronger with every step. Everything about it feels off and wrong in a way he can't explain. Past a crumbling kitchen is a small kid's room that feels colder than the rest of the house, and as he's reading but not adhering to the simple instructions on the wall,
get out.
he hears the giggle of a child. The laughter comes from behind him, practically in his ear, and he turns against a wall with a mysterious red stain that looks like it's squirted out of someone's neck. Across from him, this witch-like face appears against the window. It's most visible at approximately 3 minutes and 12 seconds, eyes and all. Undeterred, he goes to where it was standing and looks inside the room he was just in. As he's doing this, the same face now regards him through a crack in the doorway at 3 minutes and 40 seconds. It doesn't look like it's part of the door, but I guess it could be. The upstairs is cramped and uncomfortably hot. Down the hall is a red handprint that could belong to a child, except it's too high up on the wall. Perhaps they were struggling with someone, trying not to be carried into this room. As Franco stares into the room, dozens of comments point out this figure staring back out at him from within the closet, just like the far wall says. I couldn't really see anything at first, but when I did, I suddenly wished I didn't try so hard. Something's there. Franco doesn't spend much time in this room because he gets an especially bad feeling, but one thing I noticed was this jet black spirit orb float up towards him and disappear. That's not a bug. The anxiety he gets from the second floor is a little too much, even for him, and look what happens when he goes back downstairs.
I'm hearing all sorts of noises everywhere and I don't have no cover at all, and I'm in the middle of the forest. So that's kind of like one of the reasons why it's going to be a little bit weird for me, because I can't deal with that.
This just so happens to be one of the only times he films behind him, so maybe this part is set up. Anyway, this was back when a supernatural challenge called Charlie Charlie was popular, and so he decides to play around before calling it quits. He sets up 2 pencils and waits for the ghost to respond.
Is there anyone in this house right now? Is there anyone that's
I don't know about you, but I see no string.
Do you wish me to leave this area?
A closer look under the light at 9 minutes and 17 seconds shows that nothing is tied around the pencil at all. He follows its advice and goes outside. By now, Franco is soaked in sweat and still hearing movements that I don't think he's making up because they sound too far away, deeper in the forest.
And from there? From there, I'm gonna head home. After that, I'm done. I gotta get out of here.
Part of him wants to leave, but he knows he has to explore the surrounding property because it's where more spirits roam around their unmarked graves. While staring out into the wilderness, he hears them.
What the is that?
It's not traffic because there's no roads out here, and exactly 2 seconds later it's accompanied by a voice warning him never to return.
Holy
Advice that Franco TV decides to take as he walks away from the Edison house with the blank, horrified stare of a man who has been shown far too much. A ghost hunting crew named Full Moon Inc. Paranormal Investigators are certain they've caught some paranormal activity surrounding a cursed mirror recently purchased at a yard sale. Here's their evidence. A ghost does seem to unclasp the lock. The only way to fake this is with a string, which would be fairly easy to detect at close range, especially against the dark wood. Within a month, the ghost seems to have spread from the haunted mirror and into the kids' room. The Full Moon Inc. investigators are shocked to see a stuffed animal moving on its own. They suspect the toy is haunted by a ghost trying to play with them. The toy on top barely moves. Was the object moved by a ghost or by one of the paranormal investigators hiding behind? Both incidents look real, but let's get your opinion on these paranormal encounters. Twin Paranormal had the scariest night of their lives in the Mark Twain Museum. Let's see what they captured. As they've set up a paranormal device in front of a mysterious mirror, they're confronted by the spirits.
Don't be alarmed.
It's like somebody's stepping up the stairs. My heart rate is like going nuts. I'm having.
And then this happens.
That was right at the door. Are you touching me?
A moment later, a shadow passes by. Keep an eye on the doorway.
You frickin' do? Yeah.
Then a series of activity occurs.
Oh, Jesus, dude.
Dude, the vibe up here is whack.
This spirit must have suffered, but what did it suffer? With just one of the few crew members upstairs, this happens.
What? Stay where you're at. What's up?
Yes, I did.
Oh my guys, I just said you wanted just me up here. They said yes, I did.
What does the spirit want with just one of them? The crew better stick together because it's trying to isolate them individually. For what aim? I'm not so sure, but I have a feeling this spirit is malignant. A YouTuber named The Maniac sets out with his cousin to explore the back roads of Maine. Within 5 minutes, a vehicle pulls up and somebody gets out while pointing at the ground. He doesn't identify himself and he certainly isn't a police officer, so I think the maniac was in the right to try and get away. I will admit that they were going pretty fast earlier, so maybe that's why this person was so upset. Anyway, approximately 2 minutes later, they see him again, but he is already turning with a car behind him and unable to swing back around. This time, the maniac speeds by him for a final look, and sure enough, the man is wearing the same gray shirt and watch as before. The maniac speeds off again before the man has a chance to get out of his car and try and make another attempt to stop him. Earl Quest is certain that his mirror in his house is haunted because he is always seeing weird things in it out of the corner of his eye. Finally, one day he's had enough and decides to simply record behind him to figure out once and for all what exactly his haunting mirror is trying to show him. Imagine his surprise when his own reflection turns around. Actually, he isn't surprised at all, and that seems like the strangest thing about this video when you think about it. Most people would drop the camera and run screaming if they saw this, but he just keeps the same face like it's no big deal, which doesn't sound like a realistic reaction to me. This TikTok video, while scary, must not be real because he doesn't even so much as look back at his reflection. This graveyard in Michigan defies the laws of gravity and replaces them with the laws of the paranormal. There is a specific tree at the bottom of a hill that many locals believe is haunted. You can put your car into neutral at the top of the hill and the car will roll down as normal. Here's a quick demonstration.
And now, as you can see, with my foot off the pedal and the car in neutral, we're rolling downhill. That is what you would expect.
But when you pull up to the cursed tree and put your car in neutral, this is what will happen each and every time.
We're rolling backwards up the hill. My feet are off the pedal. Car is still in neutral.
A strange force appears to be causing this man's car to roll backwards and climb a semi-steep inclination. Not only that, but I think I hear a strange voice in the video too. Listen to this and tell me if you hear someone say something that sounds like the name Sarah. With the increase in home security systems, people are able to capture the most bizarre moments on what would seem to be another ordinary day. User Prometheus6EQUJ5 made a post to the r/paranormal subreddit detailing an incident that happened to him and his daughter on Thanksgiving 2020. The two of them were in the kitchen preparing for dinner late at night when a brief moment drew their attention away from the task. Without explanation, an empty bottle on a counter a few feet behind them inexplicably tips over. No one else was nearby at the time, and no movement was picked up by the camera's recognition software. On closer inspection, the bottle topples over as if it were aggressively pushed or flicked with a finger. Both father and daughter notice it, then pause in contemplation over what happened. In the Reddit post, Prometheus explains this was the first such instance that happened, and neither him nor his wife had any relatives pass away around that time. He has made several edits to update people on the situation, which provides a backstory to the events. He explains the house is over 70 years old with various owners prior to him. He says things got strange after he heard noises coming from the attic and decided to investigate. There he found an old rocking chair made for a toddler, as well as most who had owned it in the past 20 years, and all claimed to have not owned the rocking chair. He says strange occurrences started only after he moved the rocking chair into the storm shelter. There are various incidents of spirits becoming attached to objects they held dearly to them in life. Often, moving or tossing such objects can cause distress, usually the catalyst for paranormal activity. Considering the size of the chair and the minor events which transpired, it is possible the spirit could be that of a child, harmless and only causing a mild disturbance. However, with what little information we have so far, it is difficult to tell as a result of the positive response from viewers and the number of views it has garnered. Prometheus is considering live streaming the chair for an entire night. So far, this has not happened, but we certainly hope he does in the hopes of further documenting the strange happenings in his home and whether or not it is related to the chair. This police cam footage was taken during a massive wildfire in Sonoma County, California in 2017. Officers are doing what they can to evacuate the public and restore order, but as this brief dashcam video shows, they were up against total chaos at the time.
I dispatched someone from the fire department and here to dispatch by accident. He said he is unaware of which way the fire is going. They have so many fires, they can't really keep track at this point, and they also cannot answer.
Listen closely and you'll even hear the dispatcher say that they can't tell which direction the fire is spreading and seems to be genuinely overwhelmed. I have to salute this officer and all of the other brave public officials who willingly charged into a massive blaze to try and help everyone. TikToker Marlene Sanchez 052 thought her partner was joking when he started to behave like something was pulling him. It turns out he wasn't. Watch closely.
When I thought he was joking, but something was really pulling him.
His leg really does look like it's being yanked by something. This is not a natural movement that you make on your own. Some in the comments also note a child's giggle at the beginning of the clip. Is that child actually there? Or is it the child spirit pulling his leg? I think it's the latter, and that's truly terrifying because that kid is strong. YouTuber Paranormal Mai believes they've encountered a child genie. Let's see what that even looks like. First, a childlike muttering is heard, almost like laughter. He follows it.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
The voice continues, and the yet unseen child seems to be playing with the lights. As the child's voice grows nearer, get ready.
Burada insanları rahatsız eden sen misin?
Although we never see its face, we see its power. Is this really a child genie? What are the extent of its powers? I'm not quite sure, but I wouldn't stand by to find out. 1974, Disneyland opened up a new attraction called America Sings, where robotic animals would sing together as one. Animatronics was a relatively new technology at the time, and this footage was taken just weeks after the attraction debuted.
Yankee Doodle liked the South, sang their song so dear, thought they were most elegant for everyone to hear.
The show was going as planned until a loud interruption happens just seconds after the lights go down. What you just heard was supposedly the final screams of a Disneyland employee named Deborah Stone. Deborah was an announcer for America Sings, and she passed away after accidentally stepping into a powerful mechanical device used to rotate the walls of the theater. Apparently, Deborah's demise is a true story, but I can't tell if this scream was really hers or added in later. The scream itself does sound a little too clear to me, and possibly sounds like it was recorded using modern equipment, but I'm definitely not an expert in this department. If you think this scream was real, then be sure to let me know how you can tell.
Supposedly, a little girl saw two ghosts. Looks like a creepy little house. They say it's really haunted.
A team of ghost hunters investigate recent paranormal activity at the Craig house, where a ghost sighting has left a little girl really creeped out. Her mother suspects the house is haunted.
So, what do you think it is? Do you think it's...
Probably ghost.
The Craig family was not surprised when their daughter had a ghost sighting, because they've all experienced paranormal activity too. Weird things like the dial on their radio moving on its own, unexplainable noises in the basement, and scary voices whispering hello. But this time, the paranormal activity has gone too far by scaring their innocent daughter, and so the ghost hunters are called to investigate. They set up paranormal equipment in the haunted basement to see what kind of supernatural evidence they can capture on video. When nothing is caught on tape, the ghost hunters begin to doubt anything paranormal is down here, and so they challenge the ghost to reveal itself on camera.
Make something move off these shelves. You little...
No objects fall off the shelf, but apparently 3 minutes later, a mysterious EVP is caught on camera when the ghost hunters are exploring the entrance to a room under the stairs. Keep in mind that paranormal equipment has been dormant for 25 minutes until they come across this hidden room, which appears to be empty, and when they open it, all of their equipment mysteriously turns off and needs to be restarted. So I think they've let out something paranormal. As ghost hunters, it is their job to replicate the results, so as to provide the best paranormal evidence possible, which in this case means standing outside of the small space and taunting the ghost some more.
Bring it to me. I'm going inside this little room. Demonic, heaven or... Bring it to me. Let's see it. They said.
A strong and steady EVP does not stop until they take the batteries out, which I think were probably being drained fast. Judging from the weird sounds it makes, the ghost hunting equipment is being pushed past its limits and struggles to keep up with the paranormal energy surrounding it. Later, their EVP session takes them inside the closet of the girl's basement playroom, where she had a ghost sighting. He calls the ghost a coward for not properly showing itself. and
Coward is what you are.
if you look behind him, an object seemingly moves on its own, or maybe he hooks it with his finger. It's kind of hard to say.
Did you not see it move by itself?
Yeah, but it's gotta be better than that. I gotta see it move by itself.
You still don't believe?
Not really.
Either way, this is probably one of the few videos I've ever seen where the ghost hunters argue about whether this scary moment is paranormal or fake, so let's help them figure it out. I think it was probably real because earlier, he did at some point ask the ghost to move an object to prove it was real. A YouTube channel from Indonesia called Different Official Nature wants to, in their words, provide insight into the existence of another world. They've gone exploring all over the countryside and have witnessed rare and exotic creatures that border on the impossible. This river, for example, is where they hope to get a water demon caught on camera. The leader of the group lets a connection with nature guide him to the water demon's hiding spot deep in the woods at an area where the river turns into a small path. Grunting behind the rock of a cave entrance is a mysterious creature unlike any that you or I have ever seen before. The aquatic ape-like creature with long and sharp claws like a bear does not come near them and scrambles back underground when confronted.
Kelihatan berapa penonton? Bentar ya. Hati-hati. Dia posisi marah. Lihat warna tubuhnya.
This could just be a puppet because we never get to see its lower half, but tell me if you think this is real, especially if you happen to be watching from Indonesia. Mega Skelly 11 is a YouTuber who has been experiencing all sorts of strange paranormal activity throughout their home. Sometimes it's something simple like a potted plant wobbling on its own, and sometimes it's much more malevolent. Mega Skelly 11 claims that this is a poltergeist, and after reviewing this video, I have to agree. There's just too much going on at once to easily fake this in my opinion, and I see no indication that this is a setup. Let me know if you believe this is real, or if you have a better explanation. First of all, what is a homunculus? The dictionary states that it's a very small human or humanoid creature. Wizho97 uploaded this video instructing viewers how to make a homunculus in April of 2016. The video is in Russian, so bear with me. The man first rubs something that looks like isopropyl on an egg with a cotton ball. He then pokes the egg, injecting it with some substance. He then puts a band-aid over the hole in the egg and then places it inside a small plastic container. Next, he places it inside a beanie hat, likely to keep it warm. Later, he cracks the egg open with a knife, emptying the contents into the plastic dish. Out of the ooze, he picks up a larvae-looking creature with his tongs. At first, it remains still, then it starts moving around.
Движение появилось. Похоже, он пришел в себя. Любопытно. Блять!
Not sure what he was expecting. After all, he was creating a homunculus. All that is left of the humanoid is a small stain. Simply bizarre, confusing, and intriguing at the same time. A YouTuber named G, the one and only, starts off this video immediately looking creeped out and a little bit panicked about something, but we are not yet let in on whatever his current situation is. Presumably a friend of his starts to film him as he proceeds to walk into a room which is absolutely filled with bionicle toys, which is surely any young kid's dream, but maybe this set of bionicle toys are not meant to be played with.
There's nothing up here.
They are claiming that a Bionicle's head moves on its own. Let's slow this footage down and see if we can see it. See, it's the tallest Bionicle figure. Oh, I see it now. I think it's this one right up here. Although it only happens for just a brief second, if you slow down the footage and zoom in, you can see that the tallest Bionicle figure standing up actually appears to move its head slightly all by itself. Of course, it is entirely possible that this particular figure is battery powered and has a built-in feature which allows for its head to move around, but that seems like reaching for answers. Plus the uploader who owns the toy is creeped out by this, so it can't be battery powered. He says that he doesn't believe in ghosts, but is having a hard time dismissing this clip. Let this video be a warning that not even your own childhood toys are safe from being taken over by the spirit of ghosts. According to NASA, the Apollo 20 spaceship never left the ground due to a lack of funding. This leaked video, however, says otherwise. Apparently, the mission was covered up after this strange structure was found on the surface of the moon. The leaked video is now referenced to as a moon base. Look closely and you'll see what appears to be an entrance ramp leading directly into the structure itself. It almost looks like some kind of vehicle is halfway up. Let me know if you see the supposed entrance, and if you think that there is any possibility that this leaked video could be real. I think it is kind of a stretch, but I do see what they are talking about. This giant snake is so long that it takes a full 20 seconds to record its full length, and when the camera person finally reaches the other end of the snake, they suddenly become prey. The reptile is already facing them and looks to have been waiting for them for the whole time. The camera person only has a few scant moments to let out a startled yelp before the reptile lunges straight at their face. Check out its color and markings and leave a comment saying what kind of snake you think this is. I'm hoping we can figure out what part of the world this took place in, and if the snake was venomous, in which case I doubt this person survived. A possible ghost sighting in the Indian town of Kudail has left construction worker witnesses wondering what it was they saw walking around late at night. You can hear them talking about the figure when suddenly it lets out a loud scream that all of them hear over the construction equipment. This video is real, warns the uploader, who says that this was taken by his sister's friend at 2:30 in the morning. I'm not sure if I believe him or not, but if I lived in the area, I definitely wouldn't take the chance of walking around early in the morning and finding out. Amanda Castillo uploaded a video to YouTube of her being stuck in a traffic jam on a busy highway near Chino Hill. Usually in a traffic jam like this, it can be quite boring as you have nothing to do but to simply wait until the backup slowly starts to ease up and you can continue driving. But that day, Amanda saw something that definitely caught her attention. Right here. And what this uploader is claiming is that this is a bird that has passed away and is just floating in the air. And I do kind of see that outline that they're talking about. I mean, whatever this is, bird or not, it still looks like something that shouldn't be just floating in the air like it is. And it looks like whatever it is, it's floating fast as well, like it's clearly moving. This is one of the very few videos I have seen recently that I honestly have no explanation for what is happening. It looks like a bird is simply floating in midair above this busy highway, but that obviously cannot be possible. However, it looks like this is exactly what is happening here. A commenter on Amanda's videos claims to have also been on the same highway that day at around the same time, and he claims that he saw the bird too, and assures people that there was no visible string anywhere attached to the bird. So what could have possibly caused this? Is this really a bird or something else? I'm curious to hear your theories on this one. Why won't the ghost of this house cross over? YouTuber Eugene from Dark Mystic is here to find out. One of his Steadicams first observes the presence of something here. Soon Eugene hears it himself. Another Steadicam captures mysterious noises in another room, and it appears that something is moving. Later, that something falls to the floor. In that same room, a shadow shifts across the back hallway. Eugene is then given orders by the resident ghost.
Молчи. Не ори.
Eugene doesn't seem to be taking the spirit seriously, but I wouldn't be able to keep quiet either. I'd definitely scream. It's late at night when a group of friends hear a woman screaming for help and decide to investigate inside the house. They enter and look around trying to figure out where the woman is. Soon the cameraman realizes their female friend is no longer with them, and as they head upstairs they see her getting dragged into a room. They try to go back downstairs, but there's someone blocking their path who appears to be possessed. With the group trapped inside the house, they are eventually each picked off by whatever was in that house. According to the footage, the group was never seen again. And though their reactions seem quite realistic, I've been unable to find more information on the incident, so therefore I cannot decide whether this is real or a skit. Carly Oaxaca has a 2-year-old daughter who refuses to enter a certain room in the house at any time, day or night. She stands at the entrance and timidly looks around with her hand covering her mouth, not even daring to go inside when her mother asks,
"Wanna come in here?" Okay, it's okay. Mommy will come out.
Years later, when their daughter could talk more clearly, she would go on to recall a scary man who lived in the closet. He had red eyes and an all red and black face. Let me know if you think this is really what she was seeing in this video, or if the child is simply making up a scary story to trick her parents. I will add that, according to the uploader, this was not the only strange occurrence to take place in their household. Her son would describe a boy named Marcus, who would try and play with him sometimes. All family members would also get deep red scratches around the arms a lot for no reason at all. Eventually, they moved and have not been bothered since. While exploring Liverpool's most haunted hotel, the Adelphi, Jess and Ellie get the feeling they're not alone. Many have seen and heard strange things inside the haunted hotel, which was built in 1826 before being replaced in 1911. Wealthy passengers would stay here before embarking on their cruise liner journey to North America. Many famous people from Sinatra to Bob Dylan to II Roosevelt and Churchill have also been guests. But it's the passed on that call this place home. Published in January of 2022, Jess and Ellie wander through the historic hotel with its ballroom and haunted hallways. They check themselves into the purportedly haunted room 179. When they break out the spirit box, they realize the ghosts here are quite aggressive.
That just said you.
Then they ask if the spirit wants them to leave or stay, and they're given a clear answer.
Do you want us to stay? Jess is the same voice. It is. I'm getting.
The ladies did end up leaving that night. I'd be too freaked out to stay in the Adelphi a minute longer either. If you do a seance in a haunted home, expect the spirits to come out to play. Published by Ali H in March of 2022, something is wreaking havoc in this haunted house. After seeing this unexplained mess in their kitchen, this couple was left wondering who is responsible.
I closed the gate. I closed the gate. I closed the gate.
Maybe it's this weeping spirit. Do you hear that? Later, Ali is in another room of the home when a loud thud sounds from the next room. He goes to check it out and finds the spirits have made another tornado of a mess.
Oh no.
He tries to communicate with the poltergeist through a spirit box, and as he's recording, the spirit pulls up a chair.
Oh my.
Later, Ali hears someone or something coming up the stairs. Are the spirits gathering round? It certainly seems like it. The David Livingstone Centre is a reportedly haunted museum in Glasgow, Scotland. As these paranormal investigators are about to discover for themselves, they aren't even finished setting up their equipment when the poltergeist activity begins. First, something falls in the darkness, and then a piece of equipment flips over in front of them. They go to where the other object fell over and find one of the velvet ropes has come unhooked by itself. Since we didn't see it happen on video though, I guess we just have to take their word. Later, they head over to the chapel area where they think they see something move, but it's too dark to tell.
As if it's a person? Yeah.
Behind you.
When they take a picture of the corner of the chapel, however, this image of a shadow person is what they find. The G-Team Paranormal is visiting this creepy cemetery at midnight. They say it's known for its shadows and other paranormal activity. Let's see what they captured. One of their paranormal devices goes off right away.
Did you see that?
It lit up all colors.
Yeah. Can you hold it on red then?
Hate.
It says hate.
Another is triggered as they wait in the darkness.
Yeah, it did. Oh, there it goes again. It heard you.
Then a series of events occurs.
There was something that was just glowing right over there, guys. I don't know what the that was.
Whoa, something just flew and landed in this tree.
What?
Really?
Happiness.
Happiness.
I swear something just landed in this tree. It's landed at the bottom of the tree. Oh, it says happiness, death.
Death?
What?
Well, we're in a cemetery.
Again, a device goes off. And amongst the creepiest of their captures, they film what looks like a tall, dark shadow. Later, a Connect reveals the spirits holding hands with one of the team.
What's going on, guys?
Watch, she puts his hands in her hands.
Oh my.
Yo, he's gone. Horses.
Oh, there he is. Oh my. Look at that.
Watch, look, he's grabbing her hand. Look.
He's still doing it?
Yeah.
Oh my.
The shadow and this Connect energy are it for me. The spirits are lively in this cemetery. A YouTuber named Shabir1000 caught a scary moment on camera that simply should not have happened, and then another scary moment during his live stream while trying to explain it. So he's telling us a story about something that happened to him late at night.
And little story on that is, you know, I don't smoke in the garage.
The door nudges open with a gentle click. He almost notices it, but is too involved in his story to really understand that the door, which was all the way shut, is now open a crack.
And the other night, when I was watching, I caught something on camera too that I'm going to put in here for you. And then I'll narrate through the camera itself when I show that footage. But
ironically, the more Shabir1000 talks about what he saw on his CCTV system late at night, a sighting that he thinks could have been paranormal, mind you, the wider the door opens. His head is blocking the doorway, so it's hard to tell if a figure was standing there, but something is opening the door, and ghost or no ghost, it definitely was not him. He claims to have been alone the entire time, so I wanted to know if you believe him, since almost all of his videos are about non-paranormal topics like do-it-yourself projects and flea market finds. I think this video is probably real. Oh, and if you're wondering about what he caught on CCTV late at night, here's the video and it's pretty creepy. What he thinks is a ghost orb floats clear across the screen, performs a lazy loop and then disappears. He doesn't think this is a bug because it materializes out of thin air, and if you look closely you can see other bugs fly by that look nothing like this orb, like here at 2 minutes for instance. That's a bug, and this is something else. Anyway, he wasn't reading the chat at the time, and so he freaks out when they later tell him that a ghost opened his door. He tries to recreate it, and as part of this video shows, there really is no way to open the door without first turning the knob. And even though the door is made of lightweight material, it doesn't open any wider on its own. He steps on the other side of the door, where someone would have been standing, and tries to push it open without turning the knob. No luck, and when he opens the door, it stays in the same position.
Weird.
Weird indeed, and unless someone has a better explanation, it's probably paranormal. A YouTuber named Concerned Citizen made this channel to expose his creepy neighbor, who he claims to have caught looking at his wife and other family members late at night. Here you can see the neighbor stare at the house and then briefly shine his high-powered flashlight through a window before walking away. I can think of no other reason for him to be doing this other than to watch the activities of the people inside, which is both bizarre and scary. He repeats this behavior throughout a series of videos, each time capturing a brief glimpse of a family member before retrieving back to his home. According to the police, there is nothing in the law against doing this because he is merely observing the home from his own property. Hopefully he stays in his yard and never gets the idea to take an even closer look one night. A YouTuber named Jordan Bew is about to get some food with his brother Jeremy and some friends when he sees a tiny lizard hanging out by the pool. He doesn't want to hurt the little guy, so he takes it outside and goes to set it free, but it winds up taking a wrong turn.
Go get him. Get him, bud. Oh, he's in your hair. No. Oh, he's on your head. Stop. He's nuts.
Jordan's friend goes for the close-up, but accidentally scares it towards the safety of his hair. Only its tail is sticking out and then it's fully gone. They give it some time and let it resurface. It may have changed to the same color as his hair, and you can barely see it at this point. Finally, they scoop it out and set it free, but the lizard almost doubles back for another round and jumps on one of their shoes. Fortunately, it is not a repeat performance, and they are able to shoo it away. YouTuber Lloyd's House of Horrors believes his son and daughter have seen a ghost.
Hello guys, I'm here at my kids, and I'm in the room, and they called me and told me that they seen something. Where did you see it, Nia? We're in the washroom? Could you guys show me?
Yeah.
Okay, come show me this here.
One of his kids leads him to the washroom, and when he does, this happens.
And here.
Okay, show me. Holy! Nazir! Nazir!
Did the ghost just imprison Lloyd's son? While watching this clip over again, I noticed there seems to be something behind the door at this point.
Look, the door's closed.
The door appears to rebound a bit when the boy opens it wider. Whether what's behind it is a ghost or a person is anyone's guess though. A YouTuber named Frostbitten looks out his window one evening and sees what he thinks is Slenderman peering up at him from below.
It is. Right there.
You can see it much better when he moves away from the screen door.
Oh crap.
I do see what he's talking about, and so do some other viewers in the comments section. I can't tell for sure, but it looks like something with a pale head and long arms might be looking up at him. I can't really make out if it's wearing a suit or standing behind the tree. Then again, maybe this human-like shape is simply light reflecting off of the woods. Let me know if you can see what Frostbitten is talking about, and if you agree with him or not. In school that served as a German headquarters a long time ago, a ghostly female apparition spotted in the window. This dilapidated site is ripe for exploration. Originally published by Dark Ghost Paranormal, this scary video follows Dennis as he takes on the challenge. Using a spirit box, Dennis tries to find out what is going on here. The spirit box immediately informs him that a spirit is here. She says that he doesn't know her. After asking if she burnt the place down, she answers in the affirmative.
Это ты сожгла это помещение?
Да.
She also says, they did it to me, they burned me.
Они это сделали со мной.
And Dennis is told they're in the basement, whoever they are. Dennis heads inside to have a look. After asking for a sign of the spirit's presence, he is given one.
Надо где-то еще искать.
Down in the basement, he finds something like a bunker. While speaking with the spirits, a box makes a noise in the corner. His lights go out, and he hears mysterious knocks in the room. He tries the door at the end of the room, but it seems shut tight. When he asks the spirits through the spirit box what they want from him, they have a simple answer.
Что тебе нужно от меня? Скажи, что тебе нужно от меня?
After the spirits warn him to leave, and the lights go out again, suddenly he looks up to find the door open. He gathers his stuff and gets out of there in the nick of time. Another camera on the outside of the room captures the door opening on its own. Is this the spirit of whoever set fire to the lady in the window? Or is it the lady herself? Thank you so much for getting me to 50,000 subscribers here on my Clips channel. If you want to support, please press that subscribe button. Let's get to 60,000 subscribers next. Thank you.